Shut up and sit down.
All right, welcome back, guys. Another Beta 390 video. I got my tail tidy in. So today we are gonna be taking this monstrosity of tail rear fender off. I mean, look how big this is. I guess that's for a Euro plate or something. It's just massive. So we are replacing it. This is a tail tidy from Lang's Offroad in Canada. I believe it's Lang's Offroad I got it from. They have some flush mount LED blinkers that they, it looks like they did a 3D printed little mounts for them on this fender. This is the rear under fender or rear little fender off of a RR model or the non-street legal one. So we can see the difference. We're gonna take that tail light and we're gonna move it up on here. It'll be right under the fender here. But a big difference in how this is gonna look. It's gonna look so much better, and we won't have the possibility of ripping this off on the road, getting sucked into the tire. It looks like there is, I think, 6 bolts. There's 2 there, 2 there, and 2 under there we'll start with. And it looks like we're gonna have to take the rear tail light out to swap over, and then I'll take the seat off and we'll see what else we have to tear into. I don't think it'll be too much. It's just routing these wires here that are hooked to the blinkers. These are LED. I still have the regular bulbs in the front blinkers, so I won't have to run a different relay from what I've read and been told. So we'll see if that's true when we get all wired up. But if we do replace these with LEDs, we will need a different flasher relay. So maybe in the future we'll do that if I replace those. But yeah, let's get to it. Let's see what it takes to take this thing apart. That is probably 8 mil. Most everything on the bike is 8 millimeters. I think some 10s in some places. But yeah, let's get to it. Battery disconnected. All right, let's see what we got going here. Might have to take off this whole rear fender. I'm gonna have to see. I'm gonna have to maybe go check out online what it is. But here is the tail. And yeah, let's see here. These wires are running along. Looks like the wires here are, this is blinkers, and this is the tail light right here, this connector. I've got the 2 blinkers. They are running along this fender here. So we are going to, I think it's probably, yeah, the wires are the only thing holding us on right now. So I need to simply disconnect these for the blinkers and disconnect this for the tail, remove the tail light, swap it over, and that should be it. So let's get on to this part. We'll get to removing that. All right, so the tail is free now. So now we need to get the tail light out. So it looks like those 2, they're actually a lot smaller. They look like maybe 6s or smaller. I'm gonna have to check on that. Let's put it on the bench and see what we got here. Yeah, I also picked up a Enduro Engineering license plate frame holder. We'll go on there. We'll have to drill some holes, it looks like. But let's see what we got going here. Those appear to be 7mm to remove the actual tail light. Stop lamp, if you want to call it that. It's a little loose. I don't know, I might throw some Loctite on that. This little nut, it has a lock nut, a lock washer. Interesting there. Okay, another little, whoa. Has a little bracket type deal here. We take that off. Right, yeah, here's all the hardware for the stop lamp. This has a little step washer, I guess you want to call it, like a little grommet thing that'll fit in the plastic hole, little screw, lock nut and that. All right, so this little piece here, it's just, it must be like a little just to keep the wires straight or something. This side, the new one, will not have any place for this, but it actually, they include a couple of brass little step washer grommets there. So that's cool. They're zip tied in right now, so I'll pull that out once I get them ready to install that lamp. Let's pull that lamp out of the other one, see how it goes. A little dirty. All right, it's just pulling out. Right, that came out right there. I'm gonna get a rag here, wipe that off. Let's see this end. This end is, it's got a little rubber grommet on, but I'm gonna just add some dielectric grease here. This is just something I got from Napa. Dielectric grease, it's either like that or you can use just any silicone based, I guess people use if you can't find dielectric or you don't want to. Silicone grease will work the same way. I'm just gonna plug some into the little, there's some little gaps in that little grommet here for the wires. I've already gone through the whole bike except for the tail section because I knew I was going to change it. So let's go ahead and do that. Just going to grab a gob, pull this wire, pull that back. Anyways, that'll just help a little bit. And then I will also put this grease on the female side of the connectors, and even I could do this little side here. Could be overboard, might not be. Better safe than sorry. Everything I've read about the bikes have been go through the electrical, put dielectric grease. So that's what I am doing, just to be safe. All right. So now we can mount this back in the new tail. So let's do that. Gotta clip those. Right, that's for the license plate. It has a little light, shines down, so it's gonna go this way. So let's get this up in here, route that. All right, the grommet just fell out, the little brass grommet. So again, little, I don't know if you can see it, but there's the little grommet here, the screws go through. And we'll do our tiny lock washer. And we have our small, I'm gonna have to get that with the 7mm. All right, so we are back. I had to go take care of a dog problem. Where were we? Oh, don't lose that. Just dropped it. Okay, let me get this back going again. Lock washer. Tiny, tiny nut. That's 7mm. Can barely get my finger in there. Okay, it is in, taillight's in, that's there, so we will just have to route these. These are routed differently though. So you see they have them coming both. The other, this one had them both routing up this one leg here. This one has them going, see how it's, this one's going up one side where all these, and these are on like a little pigtail off of one wire that was wrapped. This one has, from the lights, the wires going up each little side of this plastic here. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I might have to do something with that. I'm gonna take a look at the bike and I'll get back to you. All right, so I ended up taking the tail section off, the rear fender, side plates, just so I could see. I believe, I'm gonna have to go look at the Lang's video. They had one, but I believe they had a hole going through this side that they routed. I don't know if they were doing this, the install in their video in a regular old RR or an RRS, but they had a hole I think they might have drilled in the plastic. See, this side has both the left and right blinker off of one little pigtail on it, one all wrapped bundle of wires here, whereas the new tail section has really long wires, so it is able to wrap around into the battery box a little differently. So I'm gonna check to see they potentially, these are wires. You can see the tail bundle, it routes down to this main connector here. I did notice, it's hard to see, but I have done one ride on the bike, and there is the ECU there. It's hard to see this ECU right here. There's a rubber band there that is actually broken. It's to secure the ECU to this. There's a bracket up here, a little plastic bracket, but that rubber band is definitely broken there. So I am gonna go check it out. I'm gonna go check their install video real quick, and I will be back just to see what we have to do. All right, so we're back. So definitely, I did a little bit of rerouting of some of my wires here. I believe this is the ECU right here. There's this rubber band. There's a backing, kind of like a shock mounting. It's on the other side of it too, and it's mounted to this bracket on the battery box. This one right here though, it's supposed to wrap all the way around and it connects in the back. The rubber was actually just ripped in half at the mount here. And I don't know why. There is this additional cables coming off that main wiring harness there. They go back in here and hook up to some fuses here, a fuse block, and this one is just blocked off, nothing on it. But they were routed underneath this main harness here. And I think that was putting a weird twist on the ECU. And I believe that's the ECU there. I could be wrong, so if anybody in the comments, if I'm wrong, let me know. But I'm just gonna call it the ECU for now. But this cable was routed underneath that main cable that goes to this ECU connector. I think that was putting a weird twist on that mount. So either from the factory is wrong or it's right, but I backed this out and it has way less tension now, and I can just put those really nice, it lays nice right on top of that connector, right under the battery box there. And a lot less tension on that ECU. So maybe something for you guys to look at. I don't know if it's just a problem on my bike or if that's how it was supposed to be, but it definitely seems a lot better with that like that. And so I just went the cheap route for now. I just kind of rigged up a little zip tie. There was a slot in that rubber band that holds the ECU. So I just put a little one through there, and then I put a big tie strap just coming up to the battery box there just to hold it up. So the ECU is secure, and it still has the rubber mount all the way around it. So kind of something to look at, but now we can get back to getting our tail section back in. You always find something when you're doing one project, you get sidetracked when you see something else. But anything you can do to make your bike better, go ahead and do it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and install the, I went and looked at the actual instruction video from Lang's, and yeah, there is not gonna be any hole here. When I get this mounted up, the wires will be there and we're gonna route them around the battery here. So let me do that and I'll see you in a couple minutes. All right, so we're back. We have the tail section, just these two bolts up at the top because the rear fender slots in over here. But you can see they've already put a little notch in this tail section here, Lang's did, and our left side tail light wire will go in there. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna route this up through the battery. It's gonna lay across underneath the battery. Gonna come across around to here and hook into the left side, hooks into the purple wire according to the Lang's instructional video. So very important, take a look at that. They tell you exactly what to wire up to. And then everything will just tuck in on this side. We'll have a little bit extra cable and wire, but should be okay. And let's get to that. I've already Did dielectric grease. This is for the rear, hooking up the rear brake and blinkers. That's what that connector is for right there. Let's see. And that's it. Let me get to that. All right, so we have all of our wiring done, routed it over, around, over the battery, underneath the strap, out this side, and we have it hooked up. The left side again goes to the, oh, I should fix this, it's going in between. I'm gonna take that out. But the left side goes to the purple and black, right side is the green and black. Let me fix that, and then I am going to wire up the battery and we'll test it just to make sure before I button everything up. All right, so we have everything wired up, battery is hooked up, tail light is working. Let's check the blinkers. There we go. Ugh, sorry about that, stepping on my mic. Nice and bright. That one is working also. That's good. We are ready to put the whole rear fender and tuck those wires in. Would have been nice, I guess, if we had a little bit shorter. It's kind of a big nest of wires right here. You would have to, these ones we could shorten up. We'd have to do that, but I'm not gonna tackle that today, maybe some other day, but for now. Yeah, so I had bolted up this, the rear, the under fender, before I put that fender on, but those, they slot in, the rear fender slots into this slot right here. So I need to take this back off. I was following what they did in the Langs video, but I think they just did that for demonstration purposes. So I need to take this off and pull that out, put the rear fender back on, under fender will then go underneath it, and we will be able to tuck these in a little better, I hope. Man, I just really don't like how long they are. All right, new problem. So it has a slot drilled in, carved out from the, let's see if I can get a light on that. Carved out in this plastic piece, but there's no good place for the wire to route. So it's going up, there's a tiny slot between the fender and really the under fender, which I need to mount better. I don't have that perfect. But this side has, I know, a slot cut into the actual fender from the factory to get all those wires down that right-hand side. This side does not. Langs did not mention anything in their install video for that. So I'm gonna have to figure something out. Either I'm gonna have to drill something or make that slot bigger. And I will get back to you guys in a little bit. Okay, so we had to make a modification to the fender. So this is the this is the right-hand side when it's flipped over. This is where all the normal wires are coming on, at least the 2022 RRS, so the both blinkers and tail, coming on the right-hand side. So it has a little notch out, this channel is cut. So on this side, where our left blinker is gonna come through with the wire, it had some plastic in here, and I just cut it out. I had some side cutters and some snips, and I just filed down the edges a little bit. So now this will allow our wire for the left-hand side blinker to come up and not be pinched, and it will be in line with the channel that is in the, that Langs had put into the left-hand side of the Undertail. All right, let's get this back on, and man, I hope this helps somebody when you guys do yours. All right, let's get to it. So now we can see I've got that nice little slot there, matches what we have on the right-hand side. So that should not impede us or pinch anything. And I'm gonna start installing the Undertail now. Right, so at this point, yeah, we can see, man, I don't like this. Tons of wires. I might have another project someday, but what I did is I just bolted up the two at the top here, just so this hangs down, just so I can try to get these wires tidied away a little better. Really too much slack for my liking, but again, I think that'll be another rainy day project. So let's get that all tucked in. All right, we are done. So there it is. Looks awesome. Looks like the regular RR now. So there are the 3 points where we can drill some holes and then mount our license plate frame. So I have the Enduro Engineering one. Let me grab that one out of the bag. Right, so I did go ahead and install the Enduro Engineering license plate frame. There are 3 little nubs in these locations on the beta fender here. Instructions were to use a 1/4 inch drill bit. So I did that. This distance is 7 centimeters apart, center to center of those nubs. So I kind of just centered it up, put it where I wanted there. I didn't want to use these top adjustable ones because I wanted to get this even with the bottom of the fender. The bolts that came with it, this is too thick for the bolt that came with the Enduro Engineering. It came with a whole bunch of different bolts. The instructions had a whole bunch of different things for different KTMs. So it's kind of a universal looking thing. I'll see how I like it, but I know Beta also makes one that has the 3 points attachment also. So it might be a little better, but we'll see. This looks fine though. You mount the license plate, US license plate here, and there's 4 holes there, you can do it. Other than that, it looks pretty good. Nice and out of the way, but just be aware, like I said, the kit, the bolt is too short, so I'll have to get a different one. Came some nice hex bolts, washers, and lock nuts. I couldn't get the washers on the backside, just where I drilled and the area, but I was able to get them locked down. That's it. All right, so again, this is what we took off. This thing is heavy too. I mean, look at, for comparison, just how big that is comparatively, just that, and then it's a lot thicker plastic. I did notice this here, the grab handles, they're a little bit smoother on this version. I don't know what year this tail is off. They all come, but this one is a little bit more of a matte finish. And they felt, it's got to come out of a similar mold, but it just felt a slightly different. It might just be because it's matte. Yeah, but that's it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments, like and subscribe, and let's turn it on again. Yeah, so again, we're good to go. They are working. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this. I'll catch you on the next one.